I don't know how you're bored of TTCC and not this, because this is far better. By far better, you mean the game or the servers? Both.
If you didn't lose laugh, I wouldn't have any problem with it.
Same. By far better, yeah. Well, 100% the servers, because TTCC servers are fucking garbage. But game-wise, I would still say it's far better, just because there's nothing wrong with it. The only downside is the population. Other than that, I'd say this is better. Plus, with ODS, you can actually see all the attacks that the COG is doing. With TTCC, you can't. With ODS, you get to do whatever tasks you want. You can just go for task shopping. On
It's freedom-based.
TTCC, you have no choice in the matter. You're forced into things that you don't want to do, so...
ODS, it's freedom-based. In TTCC, it's linear. You have to stick to that line.
But wait, so you're saying that a game with updated textures, improved storyline, constant updates, transparent staff, they're not fucking transparent. More complex gag system, barely, isn't better than a game made for 12-year-olds.
I mean, TTCC is also made for 12. If you're going by that logic.
King, your logic is fucking flawed. Every single Toontown server ever is made for 12-year-olds. You basically started setting it up yourself very well, because I agree, updated textures do look very nice. Improved storyline, it's not improved. They've basically just flipped the storyline on its head. It's not improved, it's just different. Constant updates. It's constant updates to fix the fucking errors they shouldn't be having anyway. They're not updates, they're fixtures, which I'm not even seeing any difference on. Transparent staff is bullshit, and complex gag system is And you've been playing TTCC for what, a week? Yep, unless we... Yeah, unless we're counting Project Altis as well.
Project Altis? Yeah, exactly.
That's an accurate comparison. So I'd say about 2, maybe 3 months total.
Hey, King Crumble Swat, are you getting salty that we're calling that game trash?
I think he might be a bit salty with that. Also, hello Pixels.
Put some salt on those fries, buddy.
Right, so tell me this, riddle me this. They first made Project Altis. They released the game in closed beta to fix issues. There was always going to be issues with a game upon release, so they had the intelligent thought of actually releasing it to a select few. You were able to collect beta passes to let people into the game more via their friends, to continue testing the stuff on the servers. Myself and Nico also were in that closed beta. They then opened it to open beta. And by then, a lot of the issues were ironed out, because they released it properly. That was their very first game, keep in mind. And they should have just taken a leaf out of that book, because it was a lot more popular than they thought it was going to be. Now, with all that knowledge, you'd think an improved game, which is Corporate Clash, they wouldn't have them issues. But no, they had the exact same issues. They had a worse launch. They didn't decide to put it in closed beta, they just released it to everyone. So straight off the bat, they had to delay it for 4 days. Keep in mind, 4 days. It was meant to release on the Thursday, and it was released on the... Actually, 1, 2, 3...
Sunday, I think.
No,
Sunday,
it wasn't.
Sunday, Monday.
I think it was the Monday or the Tuesday. Around that area. They delayed it for a few days to iron out the issues. And when they released it... Yeah, I had a feeling it was the Tuesday. So they were meant to release on the Thursday, they released it on the Tuesday. So they should have had all the issues fixed, correct? No, it was one of the worst launches in... I was going to say in history. Yeah, in Toontown history. My friend also was saying during the time it was a worse launch than Destiny 2. And Destiny 2 was hated by millions. So tell me, how is a second updated, progressed game having a worse release date than their predecessor? Although I feel as though TC was published far more than TTPA. In addition, were you there for TTR launch? It was an absolute train wreck. Yeah, but that's
It's
because
worse.
that
Said
was.
that, King.
But
You know how many people are in that though?
yeah, but back in the TTR days when they first launched, that was when the original Toontown went down. They were basically one of the first main ones to come back up. There was like thousands more people wanting this. Of course they were going to have one of the biggest issues, because that's what everyone was focused at, to all hell. Like with TTCC, they had like 2,000 tops.
Yeah, I would say about there.
About 2,000 tops. And that was still an improvement from their TTPA days. So they should have known that from when they first made their game, because the first one was popular. Yeah, again, TTCC should have fixed their issues by now. Like TTPA, again, that was their first game. They had the knowledge and the experience from that game. The fact that they did not think to have all these things ironed out for a much larger user base as they did in TTPA was the most stupidest thing I've ever fucking seen / heard of.
And that's
It's-
not even considering all the new staff that are kind of the ones laying it down. Really.
Exactly. There's also the fact that don't get me wrong, I'm not saying TTCC are the only ones that have ever done this. Like, there's also been some stupid fucking idiots in the days. Heck, No Man's Sky is a perfect example. Their publishers wanted to get the game out way too soon for their fucking public, and that went down the drain so fucking fast it got bombshelled by literally everyone. But they should have had
Can I
a
make my
closed
final
beta.
statement argument?
They definitely should have had a closed beta. Because at least then, if issues did arise, or risen or whatever, they would have been able to handle it without such a big, catastrophic failure. That's the problem. They should have had the same approach to it as they did with TTPA. It wouldn't have been a lead balloon. So from all this, I've gotten the impression that the argument you're making is that TT should have fixed their issues from their TTPA experience, even though not only did they basically retexture and make the new sounds for the entire game, but I don't think they knew how many people would want to play. Everyone fucking knew how many people wanted to play the game. Everyone was literally talking about it. Everyone. That is a fucking dead argument. I hate when people say they didn't know how many people were going to play. It was fucking obvious how many people wanted to play. It wasn't going to be 7. It wasn't going to be 300. It was going to be in the thousands. It was fucking obvious. That's like saying I'm going to put up Fortnite and I'm expecting only 10 people to know it. It's bollocks. I fucking can tell you right now, TTCC should have seen what was coming. Obviously, thousands of people wanted to play it. They should have stress tested. They should have fucking closed baited it. They should have done better. From the get-go, they should have done better. Because if they even had any knowledge at all of the Toontown community, you would take into account all the people playing TTR, they'd take into account all the people playing all the other different versions, and then just had in their minds, okay, how many people are going to continue playing that game, and how many people would want to play this game, as we're fucking hyping it up constantly. All the time. Every single person that was streaming a Toontown game were waiting for TTCC. If they didn't think that they were going to get a minimum of 800, they are spastic. I'm sorry for saying that, but they are really going to be fucking stupid if they didn't think a minimum of 800. Bottom line 800 was going to happen. Do not overhype something if you can't fucking deliver. They should have just made it better from the start. It's honestly not that hard. If you're gonna hype a game up, don't expect fuck all's gonna happen. To me at least, they've made up for it though, the content and the game itself, but that's just my opinion. Even though I borderline agree, the content is decent and the game itself is decent, it doesn't matter how good the game is, if you can't fucking get on it. You could make the best game ever, but if you're gonna crash every 10 minutes, tell me, what's the point of the content if you can't play said content? Cause don't get me wrong, I have no fucking idea how to make games. I don't know how to make things work and so on, but I have common sense, and it seems a lot of people like to lack that these days. Don't get me wrong, I do like some of the people in the TTC community and I like some of the people in the staff, but they were entirely underprepared when they should not have been underprepared. They had more than enough time, more than enough chances to realise, hang on a minute, this isn't going to be a small rate game, it's going to be the next generation of Toontown. You can't just expect no one to... Yeah, I mean, they've hyped it up to be that. They've made their game to look that way. They've got it all HD, they've got it entirely revamped, all the tunes look different, blah 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 blah. You're telling me not thousands of people are going to play that? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But seriously, if they did not think that they were going to get a couple thousand people in their game, the first week, never mind the first day which happens, the first week is ridiculous. They had to move to completely new servers because they were underprepared. Clearly they were never expecting to get that many, which is so brain dead of them. They really should have fixed everything. It's normally I would go as far as say as it's unacceptable, but human error needs to be taken into account as well. But oh my fucking god. It was not unexpected. It was not unexpected. Yeah, I agree, Pixels. You should have all the stress tested and tested again. I guess you could actually somewhat relate it to my current PC back when I first bought it. Like, something was constantly going wrong, and I was constantly trying to fix it. I wasn't gonna just keep on with it and complain to myself every day saying, God fucking damn it, why is this constantly crashing, why is this constantly not working? No, I'm gonna fucking fix it. I'm more than happy to wait a half year, a year, whatever. Essentially, basically, what happened to my computer was, back when I first ever bought it, for some reason it was constantly dying. I would boot it up, I would try and play a game, everything just switched off, black screen. I had no idea why. So what did I do? I did the common sense route instead of the TTC route. I just stopped using it for a few months to a year-ish. Between that period, I had it to get fixed. I didn't think about it for a while, and when it came back, everything was working perfectly. And here we are to this day. It's still working, it's still running smoothly, no issues. If I took the TTC route, I can bet you to this day I'd still be fucking having issues and I wouldn't be streaming. Bottom line, they should have been fucking prepared. Yes, servers are bad, but at least I think if you're really able to play the game, you'd be amazed at what they've done with it. I have played the game. I've finally managed to get out of TTC. But that's no less than the amount of time that I've wanted to play on it. That's the big issue though. People are allowed to get onto it, but in very short bursts. That's not how a game should be. You shouldn't have to wait. Like, let me get this into your head. The times that I'm only allowed to play, because that's what the fucking game allows me, because if I try any other time, it will crash, it will never let me on, is, let me also get my clock for it. Right now, it's almost midnight. I am only allowed to play between 10 AM and 3 PM. After 3 PM, it starts to get a bit dodgy. After 4 PM, I literally cannot get on at all. It's impossible, because there's too many people playing. And that's my fucking point. That's not how a game should be played, it should not be in small bursts. I would, on the other hand, be willing to give them a pass if that's how they set up their game. Like, you're only allowed to play between this time and the rest of the time they're fixing it. But no, that's not how they've got it. They've got it so anyone can play at any time, but it's just so poorly optimized and you can't play well enough and so on and so forth, that the game literally forces you out from playing it. That's the issue. A game should not be played like that. Again, I have played it. I've played it for for a while. And I managed to get into Barnacle Boatyards. I could probably try and get on right now, but I probably wouldn't last 10 minutes. If even that, if I'm fucking lucky. It doesn't work. They transferred servers and it didn't do anything. That is another good point. They transferred the servers. And they thought that would fix it, but it literally made no difference. I still had the exact same FPS. I still had to get off at the exact time because it crashed at the exact same time. It's just not good enough. After the TTR release, it failed so horribly, I went straight to Wizard 101. Yeah, but they were better, they were worse times back then. That was TTR times. You can't compare it because TTR was years ago. This is now. We're talking about right now with technology better. They're better prepared and everything. Relating TTR release to TTCC release, if you're thinking they had the same fucking release, that's terrible. That's my point. If a much better game, a much more optimized game, a game that should be better in every single way, including capacity, literally everything, is the same type of fucking release as TTR was, one of the first games ever released after the original game was shut down, is abysmal. It should not be anywhere near the same. TTCC's release should be at least a step up from TTR's release. If they're on the same level in any way, shape or form, fail. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't an up. It wasn't one up though, that's the point. If TTR had the issues, and then TTC has the same issues, how is that a one up?
It's not.
It's not.
It's a one down.
It's a one down, yeah.
Exactly my point.
That's an L.
It was a step up. I think you can agree with me that both launches went bad. TTR's launch was worse.
No,
I
Corporate
beg
Clash
to
is
differ.
way worse.
Hey.
TTR actually knew how to handle it. TTCC doesn't.
TTR also had a lot more people.
Yeah, like they had thousands
Yeah,
more
probably,
people,
yeah.
and they fixed it somewhat quickly. Well, quicker. Let's
And then
say.
they let the community die off and all those people disappear.
Yeah, and they weren't offering something huge and completely brand new. They were just copying the old Toontown. Obviously not for Monetary Gain, do not take it down. But they weren't overhyping it. They weren't getting to a point where this is brand new, this is brand new, this is brand new. They weren't releasing fucking trailers to make everyone want to play. They weren't overhyping it. It's...
Yes, King, we are, because they could have hired more because they had a lot of staff applications.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they sure did. Not only that, they didn't have to hire any more developers than they clearly need to.
Mm-hmm.
Like sadly.
Wait, hold on. Let's look at their corporate. They
Okay,
have.
let me read back quickly. None of them has good updates, agreed? We have, and we are a fan of the features, but if you can't even play and all this crash, it just makes the rep look bad. Yeah. Like, people that want to stream the game, that's another thing. In this day and age, everything is based off of reputation, more or less. Let's be honest, you're not going to get anywhere if you have the shittest rep ever. For a perfect example, ODS. Altis talks that game into the ground. And now look at the population, it's barely surviving. But I'm saying barely because it is still fucking around. It's not dead like Fellowship, for example. It's not closed like Apex. It's still here, it's still moving strong, because it's not gonna fucking give up. And yes, first impressions is everything. That comes back to the reputation thing. Sure, lots of people may fucking hate me, I don't care. But I know who I am, blah 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 blah. But a lot of other people won't know. The first thing they may ever see is me talking shit about a game, which is fine. Another thing maybe is me having laughs and jokes.
Did you open that link?
But it's the same with games, like, first impressions includes player base. Yeah, but you're not going to open TTCC and be like, oh, 1,000 players, I'll play this. Crash literally within 5 minutes, be like, well, it has a good player base, let's try again. No, they're going to be like, it crashed in 5 minutes, are you kidding me?
Stability and player base kind of have to complement each other in that factor.
Exactly, Pixels, I 100% agree. Would you rather play a game with a low player base but runs perfectly fine, you can do literally anything in the game, or would you rather go onto a game which has thousands of players but can't play for more than a few minutes?
And see, we have this like community right here, and we can all like help each other out.
Exactly. You don't have to... It's called making friends. If you think a game is good because of its high population, you have a lack of friends. But honestly, all joking aside, it's good that you play a game with a low community, because if the game is working fine, there's no issue. If it's constantly crashing, and
Honestly,
they
it's
have...
fun when it doesn't crash.
I don't know how to explain it, man. But yeah, there is a community, you just have to go around looking for it. Sure, let me just give you a perfect example. 73 people on right now. Some of which is us. Bottom line, some of it is us. If we weren't here, it'd probably go to about 60-ish tops. They're around...
Probably 58 about.
Yeah, that sort of area.
Can we do buildings?
That's because every little helps. People that say that they don't want to play a game because there's a lack of community is part of the reason why there isn't a fucking community. Because I like to try and help a game. Like, if I was able to know, if I knew coding and most of the people in TTCC weren't cunts, I would help them. Simple as. But I don't know coding, I don't know how to improve stuff, etc, etc. But I have common sense. Like, the least I can do is stream and play a game that clearly needs people to play the game. Exactly, I would help if I could, but I do not have the skills to. This is another thing. The people that alone played TTPA was knowing that TTCC was going to be a vast improvement. That's already a good few hundred people straight off the bat. That's not even comparing to the people that... that's not even comparing to all the people that have hyped up the game, the fact, all of their advertising and all of that. It's not the fact that they just should have been more prepared. Like, the hundreds of people that play TTPA, that's one thing, straight off the bat. They knew they were going to get a few hundred people at least playing the game minimum. So they should have been ready for that. And personally, I think that's what they were ready for, just the people that play TTPA. But that's if they did no advertising. But they advertised stuff, fuck. There was a shite ton of streamers that were constantly talking about the game. They put up trailers and sneak peeks, and they also had people like Mega Snoop bringing out sneak peeks of videos. There was hype beyond belief. There honestly was so much hype. And that's what just boggles my mind. It's the fact that they didn't prepare for thousands. And you saw even Mega Snoop play and not crash once. That's because that was during the sneak peek phase. Alright, Nico, I'll do a building. But yeah, thank you for you both for this.
It's fine, I'll come join.
Bonus meme! We have time for bonus meme, everybody. Consider yourself lucky.
Go to their Discord's mod mail. Why? They've got me blocked on mod mail. Why? I don't know. They say they don't have me blocked via the mod mail account. But I can fucking guarantee you if I go type that right now, it'll still show me blocked. Go try it then. I'll prove it to you. Because I can bet you. Right, let me just go straight into there. Message. Test. Still blocked. Still blocked. Always have been, always will be. Because they won't want to fix it. Like, I don't even have it blocked.
They're too busy with the game. They're too busy trying to fix. And I say fix the game. They're too busy trying to do that.
Ask one of the mods about it. I fucking have. I've asked 3 different mods back when I was trying to apply for the media role. One of them said ask someone else. The second one says that you're not blocked. The second one never replied. I then posted it into the memes channel back then, and they said they've not got you blocked, and I'm saying it does. It doesn't say anything, and it says it doesn't block people. And I was just like, well, someone's blocked me on the fucking account, and they've not said anything more since then, so they don't give a shit. They just don't give a shit. You've disabled direct messages on your shared server, maybe. Nope, I never disable that. People that's not even in my server can still message me, and vice versa.